Good evening, and welcome to our show, The Big Question. Tonight, we're exploring a subject that's very important to parents, educators, and businesses all over the world. The question we're asking is this: should advertising aimed at children be banned? This is a topic with strong opinions on both sides. On one side, many people argue that we must protect children from the powerful influence of marketing. They believe children are too young to understand advertising and its purpose, making them vulnerable. On the other side, some argue that a ban is too extreme. They talk about economic freedom, the role of advertising in funding children's media, and the importance of parental responsibility. To help us understand this complex issue, we have two expert guests with us tonight. First, we have Dr. Evans, a child psychologist who has studied the effects of advertising on young minds for many years. He supports a ban. Welcome, Dr. Evans.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
And joining us is Ms. Chen, an experienced professional from the advertising industry. She believes that a complete ban is not the right solution. Welcome to the show, Ms. Chen.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
The format for our debate is simple. Each guest will begin with an opening statement. After that, we'll have a discussion and I'll ask some questions. Finally, each guest will have a moment for a short closing statement. So let's begin. Dr. Evans, we'll start with you. You have the floor.
Thank you, Sarah. I want to state my position very clearly from the beginning. I believe that advertising directed at children is harmful and should be banned. This is not about limiting business or free speech. It is about protecting the health and well-being of the most vulnerable members of our society, our children. My first point is about children's development. Young children, especially those under the age of 8, do not have the mental ability to understand the purpose of advertising. Their brains are still growing. They cannot easily see the difference between their favorite cartoon show and the advertisement that follows it. To them, it's all just entertainment. They don't understand that the friendly cartoon character telling them about a new sugary cereal has one goal: to make them want that product so a company can make money. They trust what they see completely. This leads to my second point: the serious negative impact on children's health. Let's be honest about what is being advertised. A very large percentage of ads aimed at children are for products like sugary snacks, fast food, and sweet drinks. We see ads for chocolate bars that promise energy, or for fast food meals that come with a free toy. These ads make unhealthy foods seem exciting and fun. The connection between this kind of advertising and rising rates of childhood obesity is clear and well documented. We're teaching children to prefer unhealthy foods, creating poor eating habits that can cause serious health problems for the rest of their lives. My final argument is about the social and emotional pressure that advertising creates. Advertising teaches children a very simple but dangerous message: that happiness comes from owning things. It tells them that they need the latest toy, the newest game, or the most fashionable clothes to be popular or happy. This creates something researchers call pester power. Children see these ads and then constantly ask, beg, and argue with their parents to buy these products. This causes a great deal of stress and conflict in families. It puts parents in a difficult position, especially families who do not have a lot of money. How do you explain to a crying child that you cannot afford the toy all their friends have? In conclusion, we have a responsibility as a society to protect our children. Their mental and physical health should be more important than company profits. Banning advertising aimed at children is a necessary and responsible step to achieve that goal.
Thank you, Dr. Evans, for that clear and passionate statement. Now we'll hear the other side of the argument. Ms. Chen, it's your turn to give your opening statement.
Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Dr. Evans, for sharing your perspective. I understand the concerns about children's well-being. We all want what's best for our kids. However, I believe that a complete ban on advertising for children is an extreme solution that will cause more problems than it solves. First, let's talk about the economic reality. Advertising pays for a huge amount of the content that children enjoy. Many children's television channels are free to watch because they're supported by advertising revenue. The websites they visit for games, the apps they use for learning, many of these are free because of ads. If we ban advertising, that money disappears. This could mean there'll be fewer high-quality shows and apps for children. Or, it could mean that parents will have to pay for everything with subscriptions. This would be especially hard for families with lower incomes. A ban would also lead to job losses in the creative industries, from the people who make the shows to the artists who design the ads. My second point is about the role of parents. I believe strongly in parental guidance. It's a parent's job to teach their child about the world, and that includes the commercial world. Banning advertising takes away an important opportunity for parents to teach their children critical thinking skills. We cannot and should not try to hide our children from all commercial messages. It's impossible. Instead, parents can watch ads with their children and talk about them. They can ask questions like, "What is this ad trying to sell? Do you think the product really does that?" This helps children become smarter consumers and more critical thinkers, which is a very important life skill. Finally, it's a mistake to think that all advertising is bad. Not all ads are for junk food or toys. Some advertising can be very positive. There are ads that encourage children to read books, to eat fruits and vegetables, or to visit a museum. Some ads are incredibly creative and funny, and they can be a positive part of our culture. The solution is not a complete ban, but better and smarter regulation. We can have strong rules about what can be advertised and when. For example, many countries have rules that stop companies from advertising unhealthy foods during children's TV shows. This is a much more balanced approach. It protects children from the most harmful messages, while still allowing for the economic benefits and the positive potential of advertising. To conclude, let's focus on responsible advertising, on educating our children about the media, and on supporting parents in their role. A ban is a simple answer, but this is not a simple problem. We need a more thoughtful solution.
Thank you, Ms. Chen. You've both given us a lot to think about. Now let's move into our discussion. I'd like to ask some questions based on what you both said. Ms. Chen, I'll start with you. Dr. Evans made a very strong point about the link between advertising and children's health problems like obesity. You suggest that better regulations can solve this. But can we really trust the industry to regulate itself when profits are the main goal?
That's a fair and important question. I want to be clear that the health of children is a top priority. It's not accurate to say the industry only cares about profit. Many companies are already making positive changes. They're reducing sugar in their products and offering healthier options. But you're right, rules are also necessary. I'm not talking about self-regulation alone. I'm talking about the industry working together with government and health experts to create strong, effective rules. For example, a watershed policy, which bans junk food ads on TV before 9 p.m., has shown success in some countries. We could also have stricter rules about using cartoon characters to promote unhealthy foods. We could even create a special fund, paid for by the advertising industry, to create and show ads that promote healthy eating and exercise to children. There are creative solutions.
If I may, Sarah?
Of course. Dr. Evans?
These suggestions sound reasonable, but the industry has been promising to do better for decades. Yet, childhood obesity rates continue to climb. The problem with these regulations is that advertising is clever. If you ban ads on TV, the companies move to the internet, to social media, to apps, and to games on your phone. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. A ban is simpler, and it covers all platforms.
That's an interesting point. Dr. Evans, let me turn to you with a question. Ms. Chen argues that a ban takes away a parent's role in teaching their child about the world. She says parents should be the ones to have these conversations. Are you saying we shouldn't trust parents to guide their own children?
Absolutely not. This is not about mistrusting parents. It's about supporting them. The world of advertising today is completely different from what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Advertising is no longer just a 30-second commercial on TV. It's everywhere. It's on their tablet before they watch a video. It's inside the games they play. It's on the social media feeds of influencers they follow. It's constant, and it's personal. These ads are designed by teams of psychologists and marketing experts to be as persuasive as possible. They're designed to bypass critical thought, to expect a busy parent to monitor every app, every website, and every video, and to fight against this constant professional psychological pressure. It's not realistic. It's not fair to parents. A ban helps parents by removing one of the biggest sources of that pressure.
But Dr. Evans, the world is full of pressure. Banning advertising won't stop children from wanting things. They'll still see what their friends have at school. They'll still see products in shops. We cannot create a world without commercialism. Isn't it better to give children the tools to navigate the world as it is, rather than trying to create an artificial bubble around them?
Of course, we cannot create a perfect bubble, but there's a huge difference between seeing a toy in a shop and being exposed to a multi-million-dollar advertising campaign for that toy. One is a simple observation. The other is a powerful, emotional, and repetitive message designed specifically to create desire and dissatisfaction. We can and should protect children from that kind of intense professional persuasion while their minds are still developing.
We're almost out of time, so I'd like to move to your closing statements. You'll each have a moment to summarize your final thoughts. Dr. Evans, could we begin with you?
Certainly. My final thought is this. Children are not small adults. Their minds are a special space for learning, for imagination, and for growth. That space should be protected. It should not be a marketplace where corporations compete for their attention and loyalty. We must decide what we value more, the health and well-being of our children or the profits of a company. For me, the choice is clear. A ban is the simplest, most effective way to put our children first.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. And Ms. Chen, your final thoughts?
A ban is a simple answer, but this is a complex problem. The better way forward is a combination of strategies. We need responsible industry rules, developed with health experts. We need to invest in media education in our schools, teaching children to be critical thinkers. And most importantly, we need to empower and support parents to guide their children through our modern world. Let's work together for a balanced solution, not an extreme one. Let's choose education and responsibility over prohibition.
And that's all the time we have for the big question tonight. My sincere thanks to both Dr. Evans and Ms. Chen for sharing their different perspectives in such a thoughtful and respectful debate. We hope this discussion has given you, our viewers, plenty of information to think about on this very important issue. Thank you for watching. Good night.